A judge in Bangladesh's capital, Dhaka, read out the verdict in the Crimes Against Humanity trial of former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. The former leader is being tried in absentia. The judges are reading out transcripts of the ousted Prime Minister's phone calls with different ministers and officers in July and August last year. The tribunal's judgment runs to 453 pages. She has been convicted in 5 cases, mostly based on the phone calls. Following the hearings, agitation in different parts of Dhaka and Bangladesh as a whole has been reported. Security has been tightened outside the court as the verdict is still in progress. Hasina, former Home Minister Asaduzzaman Khan Kamal, and ex-police chief Chaudhry Abdullah Al Mamoon were charged under the International Crimes Tribunal Act. However, her party, the Bangladesh Awami League, has rejected the reforms promised by the interim government led by Mohammad Yunus and has called to rise against the ongoing anarchy. Earlier, ahead of the verdict, the Awami League announced a nationwide shutdown. The party also alleged Yunus-led government of using false cases, violent attacks and arrests and repression to achieve its political goal. DD India's Naval Sangh Parmar joins us from Dhaka on the phone line. Naval Sangh, what are the details emerging of this special tribunal's verdict against Sheikh Hasina?
Just now the verdict reading out is in progress, and out of the 5 cases, in all 5 cases, the judge, whatever he had read just now, it seems that a tribunal finds the Sheikh Hasina and her true ally guilty of the atrocity and the crime against humanities. But the final judgment is yet to be announced. They are now reading out the testimony of the witnesses and victims, and some phone calls, recordings, and the other electronic testimony between the former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina and her ministers and the police officials. So final verdict is yet to be announced, but it seems that according to the tribunal's reading of the verdict, the tribunal finds all of 3 co-accused
okay.
guilty of the...
Okay, Naval Sangh, there were reports of political violence in Dhaka ahead of the verdict. Are there reports of violence now that Sheikh Hasina has been pronounced guilty?
No, there are some incidents of stray incidents of violence, like arson and some of the crude bomb blasts, but there is no any casualty reported yet. There was a crowd moving towards the Sheikh Mujibur Rahman's memorial, Dhanmandi 32, but the army and police officials stopped that crowd. It was moving with the bulldozer, but the army stopped them, and there is a heavy deployment of security forces, including the army, BGP, and Rapid Action Battalion. So still now, no serious unwanted incident has been reported. In some neighboring district of Dhaka, there are some reports of the arson of torching of the vehicles and blocking the highways. But Awami League party of Sheikh Hasina announced for the lockdown yesterday as well as today. So most of the supporters of Awami Leagues are following the guidelines from the party, and they are staying inside their house.
Okay, finally, Naval Sangh, by when can we expect details on the punishment granted to Sheikh Hasina?
Detail on punishment, I'm not sure how much time it will take. Today, verdict will come like guilty or not, and detailed punishment may take some few more hours, or today, or may not be today. It will take time also.
Okay.
It is possible.
Okay. Thank you very much, Naval Sangh Parmar, reporting from Dhaka. And to put things in perspective now, we have with us Pinak Ranjan Chakrabarty, former Indian High Commissioner to Bangladesh. Welcome, Pinak Ranjan ji, to DD India News. Up first, would you call Sheikh Hasina's trial held in absentia a fair trial or not?
Well, the tribunal that tried her was established by her earlier, and it had tried the war criminals of 1971. I do not think this is a fair trial because there is a whole attitude of seeking political revenge against Hasina, and the charges that have been placed against her. I don't think in any other court it would survive for even a day. So I think this is a setup thing. We all knew the verdict that it's going. I mean, everybody knew that it's going to be, and that she would be pronounced guilty and perhaps even sentenced to death, because that is the objective. This verdict and the sentence was very obvious right from the beginning, because the people who are now in power, they are basically her opponents who are very angry with her, and of course the students, and clearly those who lost their lives, they are also angry. So I think all of that has combined together in this case. But I don't think it's really, one can say that it has been a very fair trial.
Okay. Some might say that the verdict of this International Crimes Tribunal, which isn't international, was on the expected lines. Would you agree?
Yeah, it was. I think we all anticipated that this trial would lead to a guilty verdict, because, as I said, it is a politically managed verdict. There's no doubt about it.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Hasina has called the trial a jurisprudential joke and said that she will only return to Bangladesh once participatory democracy is restored. Now that the verdict is only, she has been pronounced guilty, but the punishment is just a few hours away. Is there any likelihood of Hasina returning to Bangladesh?
I doubt it. I don't think she will go back now, because that would mean imprisonment, and if there is a death sentence, they will quickly execute her, because, as I said, the people who have organized this whole case, and they are politically motivated. They want to kill Hasina, it seems to me, because, for example, the leaders of the Jamaat who were involved in genocide in 1971, she had got them convicted, or at least the tribunal convicted them, and they were hanged. So I think this is what is being, arranged. So it's a highly politicized judgment.
Okay, verdicts by courts are open to appeals, but the law bars Sheikh Hasina from challenging the verdict in the Bangladesh Supreme Court. Your view on that?
Well, as I said, these are all arranged. So I think they have passed certain laws, etc., which will close the door on any appeal. Moreover, the judiciary itself has been, I think, compromised to a large extent, because, as you know, that during the agitation, all the Supreme Court judges were made to resign at gunpoint almost. And then there was a massive reshuffle of judiciary, where the new regime there managed to obviously put their own supporters. So this was the situation, and this remains the situation. So this is entirely expected, and I don't feel that that anybody anywhere else would call it a free trial.
Okay, supporters of Hasina's Awami League have said that they would block February's national election if a ban on the party was not lifted. Now that Sheikh Hasina has been found guilty, could we see any more serious protests by the Awami League, and could the verdict lead to political instability in Bangladesh?
Oh, this is bound to lead to violence and political instability, because the violence, we have seen the beginning of violence already. There was some violence a few days back when there was a hartal and a bandh called by the Awami League. So I think that is going to go. Violence will certainly increase, and that is why the government has now also given shoot to kill orders on those who are destroying property or anything. So I think violence has always been a very much a integral part of politics in Bangladesh. and so I'm sure it'll increase. And I don't know, maybe maybe the Awami League will probably say, don't vote. I mean, boycott the voting. That is a possibility because they have not been allowed to participate. They may not be allowed to participate in the elections. So the elections may also then face a huge question mark about banning the largest party, in Bangladesh. So there are a lot of these questions ahead, and I think the political instability and question marks like this will continue to hover over Bangladesh.
Okay, on a broader level, the Awami League, Sheikh Hasina's party, has accused the Yunus-led government of using false cases, violent attacks, arrests, repression to achieve its political goal. How do you react to these allegations?
Well, I think there have been such. I mean, these allegations are not entirely untrue. I know of people who have been accused of murders and put in jail, and then they have not been given bail. And some of these people, I can't even imagine. They wouldn't hurt a fly. I mean, these are editors and journalists and others who were obviously seen to be either pro-Hasina or anti-Jamaat. So they have been all rounded up and put in jail. Anybody who was seen as inclined towards supporting the Awami League has come under the scanner, and they have been. So this is basically, revenge, of those who were anti-Hasina, and particularly the Jamaat-e-Islami, who basically led much of the agitation, their cadres, and some of the students who are thirsting for revenge, including Professor Yunus, who's had a very sort of bad relations with Hasina for various things, including cases that he had to face on various counts that were filed against him during Hasina's government. So all these factors have combined to create this very toxic situation.
Okay. Mr. Chakrabarti, finally, Bangladesh has been in political turmoil since the end of Hasina's 15-year iron grip on Dhaka. What does the verdict today could mean for Bangladesh politically and socially?
Well, it would mean a period of instability, which we have seen already. And it would mean that that the next elections may be running into problems. And it would mean that if that happens, then this government will stay in power, which is what they want to do. At least some sections want to do. For example, the students, the Jamaat-e-Islami, etc., who want to continue with this government because they are enjoying power without the people's mandate. Now, if they don't go for the elections, then I think Bangladesh is in for undemocratic rule for some time.
Okay. On that note, thank you very much, Pinak Ranjan Chakrabarti ji, for being with us. Yes, a punishment verdict is still being read out. Let's see what comes out from that story. Thank you for being with us. Still to come on DD India News Hour.